Okay, so good afternoon, guys. So this is a recording for our lesson on capacitors. So 12, for grade 12. Okay, so let's start. So what is a capacitor? So a capacitor is a device that stores energy. It is, it has, okay, or sometimes it is called Mylar capacitor, mica capacitor. Those are non-polarized capacitors na hindi pwedeng magkabaliktaran left negative and positive. And then we have polarized capacitors which are yung tantalum and electrolytic capacitors. In most cases, ang ginagamit is yung mga sa electronic devices is yung electrolytic capacitors. Pero syempre, hindi na may iwasan. May mga gumagamit din ng mica and mylar capacitors. Now, in our lesson, usually, ang i-drawing ko is yung mga electrolytic. So, when we deal with capacitors, capacitors have a unit of farad, and usually, meron siyang symbol, dalawang symbol. Okay. We have this one sa non-polarized. Ito yung mga mica, mylar. And we have the polarized electrolytic capacitor. Okay. Now, meron siyang adjustable or variable capacitors. Ito may variable capacitors. Or sometimes, electrolytic ang drawing na adjustable. So, yan yung mga symbols for capacitors. So, in which case, ano ba talaga ang capacitor? So, sabi nga sa inyo, a capacitor stores energy. It is usually made up of two plates with the material in between them. So, the materials can be sometimes paper, but most of the time ginagamit is air capacitor, meaning air ang material sa kapagitan nila. Okay? So, it stores energy by gaining electrons on one side. So, nai-store yung mga electrons on one side. And of course, this becomes less negative, so mas positive siya on the other side. So, ganito siya nag-store ng energy. It gains energy by storing electrons. Because when electrons flow, electrons mapupunta dito sa negative plate. By the way, there's a difference between uh, what we call current. Meron tayong natawag na conventional flow of current. And we have what we call the electron flow ng current o yung kuryente. When we say conventional flow, ito yung flow na from positive side of the source back to negative. Positive to negative. Yun yung conventional flow of electricity. Conventional meaning nakasanayan. Kasi so, sabi ng sa nakasanayan ng iba na ang ang flow ng kuryente is from positive going to negative. Pero alam naman natin that electricity flows the other way around because it is the electrons that flow. So, pag gumalaw ang electron, nagsisimula usually yan sa negative side of the battery. From the negative side, it goes around through the circuit and to the positive side of the circuit of the power source. So, negative to positive. Ito yung actual flow of current or what we call the electron flow. So, what affects the capacitance of a capacitor? So, first and foremost, the capacitance is affected or directly affected by what we call the area of the plates. Of course, lakihan natin yung plates, mas lalaki or mas dadami ang electrons na kayang i-retain ng plates. Mas malaki yung plates, yung more, let's say, kaya niya ng more than 10 electrons, 100 electrons. The larger the plate, the more electrons it can gain. And of course, may epekto din distance because If we lessen the distance, so pagtabihin natin, okay? Pag pinagtabi natin yung plates, paglapitin natin, the positive side of the plates can have an effect on the negative side of the plates. Kasi pwedeng mahikayat niya or matulungan niya para madagdagan yung electrons because of its positivity. Yung electric field na pinoproduce ni positive plate. So that means the lesser the distance, the larger the capacitance. So nasa ilan naman so inversely proportional ang distance between the plates. And of course, nakakatulong din yan is yung what we call the dielectric material. So we have the dielectric constant which directly affects capacitance. And of course, yung constant, we have 4 pi times Coulomb's constant. So we have the capacitance. The capacitance here is affected by the dielectric material and the area of the plates, and inversely proportional to the distance between the plates. So we have with the constant 4 pi k. Now, we have 4 pi k which is from the Coulomb's constant. Alam natin that Coulomb's constant k is equal to 1 over 4 pi times permittivity of free space or epsilon. Pag pinagpalit natin yung dalawa, yung Coulomb's constant saka epsilon, we could have epsilon to be equal to 1 over 4 pi k. So, ito, pwede natin extract si 4 pi k. We have capacitance to be 1 over 4 pi times Coulomb's constant multiplied by the electric material times the area of the plates divided by the distance between the plates. So itong 4 pi k pwede palitan natin ng epsilon which will give us the new formula for capacitance to be equal to permittivity of free space epsilon times dielectric material or dielectric material constant times area divided by the displacement. Okay? Now, when we deal with capacitance, the charge that it could gain is directly proportional to the potential difference, yung voltage that is affecting it. Okay, so yung pinanggagalingan na source, yung voltage. Okay, so the charge is directly proportional to voltage. So dito papasok yung constant natin na capacitance, yung capacity of the capacitor. So Q is equal to C times V. Or rearranging this, we have the capacitance is also equal to the charge divided by the voltage. So this means that 1 farad of capacitance, so 1 farad is equal to 1 joule per 1 volt. Okay? But 1 farad is quite a big number. Mukha lang siya maliit pero malaking number yan. Okay, let's try to imagine that. Okay? Gamitin natin tong formula ng capacitance dito. And then let's try to solve the capacitance. So imagine, let's say we have a 1 farad capacitor. Okay? So isipin natin gaano kalaki kaya itong 1 farad capacitor. So let's have a distance between the plates to be 10 millimeter. Okay, so that's just 1 centimeter. Now, if let's say ang dielectric material na gamit is air for simplification, since air has a dielectric constant of 1. So the material between the plates is air. The distance between the plates is 10 millimeter. And the capacitance of the capacitor is 1 farad. So ang alam natin dito is ano yung area between of the plates. Okay? So the required is the area between the plates. So sama natin dito yung constant permittivity of free space to be 8.85 times 10 to the 8.85 times 10 to the negative 12 coulomb squared per Newton meter squared. So let's try to find the area. So solving from the area, we will use the equation capacitance is equal to epsilon times dielectric material or dielectric constant times area divided by distance between the plates. Now solving for area, we have the area to be equal to the capacitance multiplied by the distance between the plates divided by permittivity of free space times dielectric co- material, dielectric constant. So this is the 1 farad multiplied by 10 millimeter, or that is 10 times 10 to the negative 3 meter, divided by permittivity of free space, which is 8.85 times 10 to the negative 12 coulomb squared per Newton meter squared, times Coulomb's constant to be equal to 1. So if we try to solve for the area, so that is 1 farad, so that is 1 times 10 to the negative 3 divided by 1 times 8.85 to the exponent negative 12. So that is equal to 1.12 times 10 to the ninth. Or that is 11 times 10 to the 8. So this is 1.12, actually 1.13 times 10 to the ninth ang area. So imagine if it is a square plate. So kung square ang plate, that means kailangan natin na ang area ng square is S times S. So that is S squared. So to find S, S is equal to the square root of the area given. So kukunin natin ang square root. So the square root of the answer is 3.361 times 10 to the fourth. Okay. So that is 3.361 times 10 to the fourth. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is approximately 33,600. Actually 4. May 4 pa dito. 614 meters. Okay, so kung tama ang computation ko, so this is approximately 33 kilometers. So imagine, ang size ng area ng plate na kailangan is 33 kilometers na plate on one side. 33 kilometers ang haba, 33 kilometers din ang lapad. So napakalaking kailangan para sa 1 farad capacitor with a distance of 10 millimeters. So napakalaki niya. So it is impossible. Although impossible for today. But of course, sabi nga natin, the dielectric helps. So who knows, pagdating ng panahon, baka magkaroon tayo ng dielectric na kaya magpataas ng capacitance gamit lang ng maliit na dielectric material. Okay? So continuing on. So capacitance or capacitors are usually connected in two ways. We have what we call a parallel connection and the series connection of capacitances. So when we say parallel connection of capacitors is when capacitors, let's say we use an electrolytic capacitor para meron siyang polarity. Okay, may negative at positive. So if we have electrolytic capacitors, so when we say na parallel connection ang capacitors, so the negative parts are all connected and the positive ports are all connected. So ito ang parallel connection of capacitors. Magkakakonekta ang mga negative at magkakakonekta ang positive. Or in our symbol, we could use this as, so ganito ang connection pagka parallel connection of capacitors. Okay. Now, when we say series connection of capacitors, ito yung tinatawag natin na head-tail connection. So meaning we have, let's say, three capacitors and will be connected. So para masabi natin na series connection, ito ang mga negative ports, yung may guhit. So when we have a series connection of capacitors, the negative of the previous capacitor is connected to the positive terminal of the next capacitor. And the next capacitor, the negative terminal of the second capacitor is connected to the positive terminal of the uh, proceeding capacitor and so on and so forth. So ganyan ang connection pagka series connection of capacitors. In symbols, it is drawn like this. Okay? Negative, negative, negative. Okay? So dito, pagkatapos nito, saka natin drawing yung power source. Ito yung battery or dry cells. Okay? Ito yung parallel. At ito naman yung series connection. Now, what is the difference between parallel and series? What is the effect of having capacitors in parallel and having capacitors in series? So, when we have capacitors in series, unahin natin yung series. Capacitors in series, okay? So, let's redraw that. Huwag na natin gumamit ng electrolytic. Gamitin lang natin yung simple capacitor lang, non-polarized. Let's say that let's simulate that. Okay, simulate natin na nagkakaroon ng kuryente. So if we have, let's say, three different capacitors. Imagine natin, let's say si capacitor sa taas, series, sorry. Sorry for that. Series nga pala. So pagka series, magkakadugtong. Okay? So let's say sa unang capacitor, maliit, tapos malaki, tapos medyo maliit. Okay? Let's say na itong capacitor sa una, okay? Let's say itong capacitor to kaya niya ng dalawang electron. Okay? Just for this simulation, kaya niya dalawang electron. Itong pangalawa, mas malaki siya, kaya niya 5 electrons. Itong pangatlo, kaya niya is 3 electrons. Mas marami kaysa sa una. Now, if we try to simulate the flow of current, nagsisimula dito, so mawawala ng negative dito, magkakaroon dito ng isang negative charge. Then, mawawala ng negative dito, magkakaroon dito ng negative charge. Mawawala ng negative dito sa plate na to, magkakaroon ng negative charge dito, and then mawawalan dito, ibabalik niya papunta sa battery. And then, simulate ulit natin, mag-flow ulit, second rotation. Okay, although mabilis to ha, mabilis siya yung takbo niyan. Now, after this, what will happen? Now, the first capacitor dito sa linya natin, let's say ito si C1, C2, C3. So, si C3, puno na. hindi niya na kayang tumanggap ng capacitor, ng electrons. So that means that i-open niya na yung circuit. So what will happen? The 5 electron capacitor, si C2 saka si C1, kahit kaya pa nilang tumanggap ng electron, wala na sila matatanggap kasi pinutol na ni C3 yung connection. So in short, yung charge na binigay ni battery is also equal to the charge na natanggap ni C1, equal din sa charge na natanggap ni C2, equal din sa charge na natanggap ni C3. Pare-pareha sila. For our example, pare-pareha sila na dalawang electron lang ang natanggap. But when we try to draw the voltage that the charge can give, yung total voltage na maibibigay nila or yung potential difference nila is actually equal to the sum of all the voltages. So the total voltage is equal to V1, V2 plus V3. So ito yung total voltage na kaya nila bigay. Okay? Now, if we try to remember that the formula for capacitors, Q is equal to C times B. So from this formula, Q is equal to C times B, pwede nating i-rewrite to solve for V. We have the voltage is equal to, or the potential difference is equal to Q divided by C. So itong V total, pwede natin palitan ng Q over C equal to Q over C plus Q all over C plus Q all over C. So itong V total, that's Q total divided by equivalent capacitance. V1 is Q1 over C1, V2 is Q2 over C2, and V3 is Q3 over C3. Now, ano itong ibig sabihin ng equivalent capacitance? Equivalent capacitance means that we have a capacitor that can replace the connection of the three capacitances. Okay, the capacitance in the connection. So, ito yung equivalent capacitance, CEQ, usually drawn with a circle and a dotted line. So, ito yung equivalent capacitance. Ang tanong, ano yung equivalent capacitance na yan? Now here, if you will look at our Q, di ba nakalagay dito sa taas, equal siya lahat sa Q, equal sa isang Q lang. That means we could divide everything by 1 over Q. So if we multiply everything by 1 over Q, cancel to kasi equal naman sila. If distribute natin itong 1 over Q, makakancel din itong lahat ng Q sa ibabaw. Which will give us 1 over C equivalent equal to 1 over C1 plus 1 over C2 plus 1 over C3. So that means that to get the equivalent capacitance, the inverse of the equivalent capacitance is equal to the sum of the inverse of the sum of the inverse of the capacitances. Okay, yung individual capacitances. So, para makuha mo yung CEQ, isasama mo muna yung mga inverse, saka mo ibabaliktad. Okay? Or, lalo na pagkadalawa lang. Madali lang pagkadalawa lang. Pagkadalawa lang, 1 over CEQ is equal to 1 over C1 plus 1 over C2. Na ito pwede natin pag-combine kasi para mabaligtad to, kailangan makakombine nyo muna siya sa isang pangalan nito, isang fraction lang. So, to combine in a single fraction, kailangan maging parehas ang denominator. So, ang normally ginagawa natin, i-multiply natin yung dalawang denominator. Then, yung minultiply natin, divide natin. C1, C2 divided by C1 is C2 times 1. We have here C2. C1, C2 divided by C2 is C1 times 1 is C1. So, plus C1. So, 1 over CEQ is equal to C2 plus C1 or C1 plus C2 divided by C1, C2. Then, kukuha natin inverse nito, CEQ would be equal to, kung hindi natin inverse ito, C1, C2 all over C1 plus C2. So, if we have only two capacitors, the equivalent capacitance is actually equal to the product of the two capacitors divided by the sum of the two capacitors. Okay, so product niya C1, C2 divided by the sum C1 plus C2. Yan is kung dalawa lang. Actually, kung tatlo, pwede rin naman. Pagka tatlo, okay, I have already derived that. Pagka tatlo, ang shortcut is CEQ is equal to C1, C2, C3. The product of the three capacitances divided by the sum of the pairs of individual capacitances. So we have C1, C2 plus C2, C3 plus C1, C3 pag tatlo. Pag apat na capacitors, so combination naman yan ng tatlo. Product of the four capacitances divided by the sum of multiples of three capacitances. C1, C2, C3 plus C1, C2, C4 plus C1, C3, C4 plus C2, C3, C4. So, ganun kahirap na pagka apat na. Lalo na pagka lima na, mahirap na mahirap. So, it is better pagka ganung marami na, gawin nyo na lang yung nauna. Okay? Gamitin nyo na lang to. Ito na lang gamitin nyo. Pagka marami na. Pag dalawa, tatlo, okay lang, madali lang. Okay? Pero pag marami na, ito na yung gagamitin nyo. Yung mas para ma-i-inverse nyo na lang. E paano naman kung parehas? Let's say C1, C2, and C3 i-equal yung value. Let's say equal sila lahat sa C1. So, if we are going to solve for the equivalent capacitance, pag pare-parehas, let's say, simulate natin, 1 over CEQ is equal to 1 over C1 plus 1 over C1 plus 1 over C1. So, that would be 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. So, 1 over CEQ is equal to 3 over C1 or CEQ or equivalent capacitance is equal to C1 divided by 3. So, when we have multiple capacitances connected in series, let's say 4, 5, 6, at pare-parehas ang values, all we need to do to determine the equivalent capacitance is just divide the value of one of the capacitors by the number of capacitors. So, let's say meron kang 100 nanofarad capacitor. 100 nanofarad capacitor connected in series. So, yung equivalent capacitance nun is 100 nanofarad divided by 100. So, that's just 1 nanofarad ang equivalent capacitance no 100 nanofarad na yun. Okay, that's how easy it is pagka pare-parehas ang capacitances. Okay, so let's try to simulate that. Simulate natin ang isang series connection. So, let's say I have C1 to be 3 microfarad and C2 to be 5 microfarad. And we have the voltage source to be 12 volts. Ang gusto natin malaman is what is the voltage across each of the capacitances at ano yung charge na nakukuha ng dalawang capacitance na to. So when we deal with this, kailangan ma-draw natin. So connected siya in series. So that means we have here C1 and then C2 connected to our voltage source. So, ito yung voltage total natin. So, to solve for this, kailangan natin ma-combine muna to into a single capacitance. So, unang kailangan natin mahanap is ano ang CEQ. Okay? Yan ang hanapin natin. Ano ang CEQ? Ito yung CEQ. Ano yung value ni CEQ? Okay? So, since series yan, at dalawa lang naman sila, CEQ is actually equal to C1, C2, divided by C1 plus C2. So that is 3 microfarad times 5 microfarad divided by 3 microfarad plus 5 microfarad. So this is 3 times 5 divided by 3 plus 5. So hindi ko nasasama yung micro. Kasi makakancel din naman yung isang micro. Matitira dyan isang micro lang din. Okay? So that means 3 times 5 is 15. 3 plus 5 is 8. So the equivalent capacitance is actually equal to 15 all over 8 microfarad. So yun yung equivalent capacitance. So now that we know the equivalent capacitance, hahanapin naman natin ngayon yung Q total. So yung Q total, base sa equation natin, Q total is equal to C times B or the equivalent capacitance multiplied by B total. So that is 15 over 8 microfarad times B total, which is 12 volts. So Q total is equal to 15 over 8 times 12. So that is 45 over 2, or that is 22.5 micro. Kasi masasama yung micro coulomb. So yun yung charge kay QT. Okay? And since naka-series yan, if you remember, pagka naka-series, equal ang Q1 equal sa Q2 equal sa QT. So that means QT natin na 22.5 microcoulomb is also equal to Q1 equal din kay Q2. So alam natin Q1, Q2, masosolve na natin ngayon yung voltage across 1 o voltage across C1 at voltage across C2. So voltage across C1 or voltage 1 is equal to Q1 over C1, which is Q1 is 22.5 microcoulomb divided by 3 microfarad. So the voltage is 22.5. 22.5 divided by 3 is 7.5. So the value of V1 is 7.5 volts kV1. What about kV2? So there are two ways of solving for V2. One way of solving for V2 is V2 is equal to Q2 all over C2. So from this we have 22.5 microcoulomb divided by the capacitance of C2, which is 5 microfarad. The voltage across C2, 0.5 divided by 5 is 4.5. So the voltage or the potential difference across C2 is 4.5 volts. Okay. So mas mataas ang charge, pare-pareho sila ng charge, pero mas mababa yung voltage across V2. That's one way of solving it. Another way of solving it is, since dadalawa lang naman sila, alam na natin si V total 12 volts. So ang matitira doon na voltage is yung matitira sa 12 volts pag binawas mo na. Or V total is equal to V1 plus V2. Solving for V2, we have V2 equal to V total plus minus V1. So that is V total minus V1. Okay? Which is V total is 12 volts minus V1 is 7.5 volts. So it's the same 4.5 volts ang ating V2. So that is how we solve series connection of capacitances. Now what about parallel connection? Okay. So when we have a parallel connection of capacitances, so pag parallel, so let's try to simulate that as well. So gawin natin, let's say, eto si C1, ito si C2, ito si C3. Okay? Ito si C2, ito si C3. So katulad kanina, parehas din C1, C2 natin. Let's say si C1 can handle 3 electrons. Okay? So dito kaya niyan 3 electrons. Just for our uh, example. Si C2, let's say kaya niya naman is 5 electrons. Si C3 kaya niya 2 electrons. Okay? So if we simulate the flow of electricity, let's say una nagkaroon si C3. So nagkaroon siya ng isang electron. Then pangalawang flow nagkaroon naman si C2. Pangatlo nagkaroon naman si C1. Then nagkaroon ulit si C2. Then nagkaroon si C3. Now si C3 puno na, dalawang electron na meron siya. I-open niya na yung circuit niya. Now, if we look at the connection, pwedeng mamili pa rin, dumaloy pa rin si kuryente kahit open na si C3. So that means that si C2, pwede niya mapuno yung 5. Si C3, pwede niya mapuno yung 3. Kahit na nag-close na yung dalawa, kaya niya pa rin mapuno yung 3. So, hindi nalilimitahan. It is only when all three capacitances are full, that's only when the flow of electricity will stop. Okay? So, when we try to get the total, okay, uunahin mo natin voltage. The voltage na nare-receive nila, since lahat sila, let's say ito yung voltage total, lahat sila connected sa voltage. Ito, let's say ito 12 volts. So, ito ang C3 makaka-receive siya ng 12 volts. Si C2 makaka-receive siya ng 12 volts. Si C1, kaya niya rin makareceive ng 12 volts. So, yung voltage total na binibigay ni battery is the same voltage na marireceive ni C1, the same voltage na marireceive ni C2, at the same voltage na marireceive ni C3. That's one thing. Second, yung total charge na mabibigay ni capacitors. So, 2, dalawa dito, dito 5, dito 3. So, yun yung lahat ng charge na kaya nilang i-release. So, Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3 ang kaya ma-release ni connection of capacitors. Okay? Now, if we go back to our equation, Q is equal to C times B. Pwede natin palitan to lahat ng Q times C times B. So we have Q total is C equivalent multiplied by B total equal to Q1 is C1 times B1 plus Q2 is C2 times B2. Q3 is C3 times B3. And of course, kaya nakalagay sa una, equal naman yung mga voltages. We could divide everything by the voltage. Since equal naman lahat yan sa iisang voltage lang. So, makakancel tong B total, makakancel yung B1, B2, B3 dahil dito sa multiply natin na 1 over B. What we'll have? We will have with C equivalent to be equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3. So, mas madali pagka parallel connection. The equivalent capacitance is equal to the sum of the individual capacitances. So, kung may 3 microfarad yung C1, 5 microfarad si C2, so pag pinagsama natin yung dalawa, 3 plus 5 is simply 8 microfarad. Ganun lang kasimple siya. That's the equivalent. Paano naman kung pare-parehas ang capacitances? So, just multiply it. Let's say tatlong C1, so that's 3 times C1. So, yun na equivalent capacitance. So, mas madali siya pagka parallel capacitances. Okay, so let's try to visualize that in one problem. So, gamitin uli natin yung C1 saka C2 na 3 microfarad saka 5 microfarad. Gamitin natin siya in our circuit na nakaparallel naman ngayon. So, kanina, naka-series. Ngayon, gagawin natin nakaparallel. So, pag nakaparallel na siya, so we have your C1, C2, then we have the voltage total. So, this is 3 microfarad at ito naman is 5 microfarad And we have here 12 volts. So pag nakaparallel, syempre, unahin natin, the equivalent capacitance is simply C1 plus C2. So C1 plus C2, that is, sabi nga kanina, 3 microfarad plus 5 microfarad. That's simply 8 microfarad. Yun ay C equivalent natin. Now, when we deal with Q total, yung total charge na may bibigay sa kanila, so we could compute that. Okay? So we have, may equivalent capacitance na tayo, so pwede natin siyang ilagay as a single capacitor connected to our voltage source. So ito na yung equivalent capacitance natin. Okay? So we could solve for Q total. Q total will be equal to C total, C equivalent times B total. So Q total is equal to C equivalent multiplied by V total. So that is 8 microfarad times total voltage na binibigay niya, which is 12 volts. So Q total is simply 8 times 12, that is 96 microfarad. So yun yung Q total. Then to get the voltage, the Q kay C1 saka kay C2, so medyo madali lang. Actually, kanina pwede na kahit hindi natin kunin si Q total. Q1, since nakaparallel yan, yung B total, yun na rin yung ating B1, yun na rin yung ating B2. So Q1 is simply C1 times B1, which is C1 is 3 microfarad times voltage na 12 volts. So that is 36 micro column, sorry. That's 36 micro, okay. That's 36 micro column. Sorry, this is also column dapat. Okay. So ito si Q1. Okay. Then Q2, that is C2 times V2, that is 5 microfarad time voltage na 12 volts. So that's 5 times 12 is 60 microcoulomb. Ito yung ating Q2. So ganyan natin siya solve. Of course, hindi natin kailangan solve yung iba kasi B1, B2 na siya. Okay? Now, I want you to solve the problem in Google Classroom. So yung meron yung multiple capacitances, but this time it is in series parallel. So actually madali lang din naman siya. Ang connection sa Google Classroom is like this way. Okay. So we have two capacitors connected in parallel in series with another set of two capacitors connected in parallel. Okay. So ito, pagka ganito, iisa-isahin nyo. Huwag kayong magmamadali. Okay? Unahin natin yung pinaka nasa loob. So, ito, unahin natin yung naka-parallel. So, mangyayari dyan is, to solve for the equivalent capacitance, isolve nyo muna yung isa. Nakukuha nyo yung equivalent capacitance na pagiging parallel nila. Then, solve nyo yung pangalawa, makukuha nyo naman yung equivalent capacitance nila. So, pag nakuha nyo yung equivalent capacitance ng dalawa, naka-series na to, so pwede na i-compute yung total equivalent capacitance. Masosolve nyo na yung equivalent capacitance ng buong circuit. Then, pagka magsosolve na kayo ng individual charges within the capacitances, iba-backtrack nyo na lang. Actually, dito kayo babatay sa mga nasolve nyo dito. Doon kayo makakakuha. Like for example, ito naka-series. So, dapat ang charge dito sa dalawa na to is equal. Okay? Pag ito yung voltage niya is yung sum ng dalawang voltage. So, ganyan natin isosolve yan. Okay? So, if you have any questions regarding this lesson or any within our activity, feel free to chat me and or send me a message. Okay? So, thank you very much and see you next meeting.